So, welcome to another anti-MLM video. I love making these. I love trying to be as informative as I can. I did, in fact, film this video way in advance, and then I was rewatching it and I realized I didn't like it. So, we're refilming. Yes, I am, in fact, wearing the same exact thing, and I look exactly the same as I did in my last anti-MLM video. But I did shower. This is not the same day, it's a different day. And please don't ask me when's the last time I washed this shirt. Today I will be discussing and answering the common questions for MLMs, such as who are you buying from, what are you buying, some alternatives, and why we shouldn't support MLM companies. I have some personal examples spewed out in this video as well as some factual ones, just to make sure that I hit every base and have credible sources. So the links to all of the credible sources and everything like that will be in the description below. We like to cite our works. We're not trying to plagiarize or do anything, but because there are some personal examples in this video, I will not be using any names or faces or anything like that to protect the people involved's privacy. As always, my intention is never to hurt or insult anyone that is in an MLM. Hi, editing cam right here. Every time I watch or rewatch my videos or when I'm editing, I'm just like, why am I so awkward? And for some reason, I'm so much more comfortable with my phone camera than an actual camera. And when I do these sit down videos, I feel like the mood is just so intense, and that's not really what I'm trying to go for, but that's kind of the impression that it gives off. So I'm so sorry for that, but I'm just here to inform. I'm not trying to make any big claims or anything is stated in the disclaimer before the video, but again, I'm not trying to insult anyone. I'm not trying to, bash anyone, which is why people's names aren't shown. And yeah, I would just like to say that I'm so sorry for the mood of this video. It is so weird. So I'm probably gonna be spewing some commentary on my own video, if that even makes sense, because I'm so much more comfortable editing, because I like editing, because I get to re-see what I'm doing, and kind of if I see anything that I want to add on or touch on a little bit more, I can add more things about that. And I want to be as informative as I can, keep it casual, keep it cool, the jizz. And yeah, let's get back to the video. So I will have timestamps in the description for specific topics I'm going to be talking about in this video. So if you want to skip ahead, you can go ahead and look in the description and see where you should jump to. So first, I'm going to talk about who you are buying from when you support an MLM company. I'm going to be talking first specifically about the CEO and the company itself, and then later on I'm going to get into the representatives and the distributors, consultants, whatever, the people working for MLMs. So because I like to be as thorough as I possibly can, I know just watching a video is not being the most informed as you possibly can. So I did my own digging and research, and I did find this information on the beautiful, beautiful internet. So this is not all just YouTube videos and stuff like that. I actually did the research and tried my best to understand it, as it was kind of difficult to understand because I'm not a lawyer, nor am I a nutritionist or a hairstylist or a chemist or anything like that. So big words, not my thing. I hate chemistry. If you watched my last video, you'll know that, and I suck at science, so it's very difficult for me to understand what some of this stuff actually means. But if you do kind of understand what it means, or you want to know more about it, the description is your friend in this video. So I find it incredibly important that one understands and knows the product that they're selling like the back of their hand. When finding a product, you would like to know that the product has been tested and that it has been researched and such. So I don't know about you guys, but I know I personally would never even look into big brand companies or names or anything like that, because I just wouldn't really care, if it's a product and I like it, I'm just gonna buy it, whatever. But the problem with these MLMs is that they kind of bring you into this, because MLMs really emphasize on bringing everyone in your inner circle, you know, people that you follow and whatnot, into the company to either sell for them, you know, become, you know, enter their downline or whatnot, or to just buy the products at all. Because if you buy the products, then you're able to promote it on your story. More people will be curious about it, blah, blah, blah. They get advertisement. That's essentially free advertising. And again, I understand that you can say it's free advertising for any company. If I tell people to watch this Netflix show that I really like or something, that's essentially free advertising for Netflix. But the issue with that is that I am not, like, my job isn't dependent on that. My livelihood is not dependent on me telling you if, like, whether if you actually watch the Netflix show or not. You know what I'm saying? So a big thing, and I totally hate that I forgot to mention this, what makes it more important to look into the businesses and, like, kind of their model and the people that are running this business, it's more important to look into the MLM ones because they affect everyone's lives. And I really want to emphasize on this is that MLMs affect everyone. Even if you don't even want it to, they affect everyone because everyone at least knows someone, one person who's been in an MLM or is in an MLM, either it was you or a friend or a family member or whatnot. Everyone has been in one because MLMs prey on people that are relatable. That's the main thing. And that is why it's important to make sure that people know that this is why it is different than a regular business model. Okay. So would you want to buy from a brand that has multiple lawsuits against them, including class action lawsuits? Two companies I'm going to be talking about that are MLMs do have class action lawsuits against them. And I'm going to read two examples per company so we can kind of get like a flow, an idea of what we're getting ourselves into. First, we're going to start with Arbonne. And I know I always talk about Arbonne and Monat, but it is just the most popular ones that I see amongst my peers and stuff. So I really want to make sure that the information about these specific companies are, you know, put out and obtainable. But in the future, if there are other MLMs that you guys would want me to talk about, there's a lot that I really am interested in and want to talk about, but those are all for future videos. I just really want to make sure I nail down specifically Monat and Arbonne. So I'm going to be reading this word for word. So I was reading that word for word, in fact, but I messed up so many times trying to read it word for word. I don't know what was going on in my brain. I don't know if I had one at the time, but I literally, like, rewatching it, it was so painful. So that's why there's jump cuts, because I just could not get one sentence down. Like, I just could not read it out for some reason. Like, it was just so difficult, and I kept stumbling on my words, but that's why there's jump cuts. But I was reading it word for word. I'm just an idiot. In November 2009, Arbonne refused to hire Lisa Wilson on the grounds of her hearing disability, but the lawsuit quickly ended when they agreed on a $30,000 settlement and required to institute non-discrimination policies and training. So, that's just one example. I'm going to read another one too. This one is a little more recent. So, in May 2017, Cynthia and Michael Dagnall, I hope I said that right, Dagnall, whatever, raised a lawsuit against Arbonne and alleged that the company was an illegal pyramid scheme. Oh, that dirty, dirty word. So, how did they solve that? The company settled with the plaintiffs to end the lawsuit in 2018. Keep in mind, these people that sued Arbonne were ex-Arbonne consultants. So when you click on the link and you read why they sued and just exactly how these people lost money and the business practices they condone, it explains how they make false promises or open-ended ones, meaning that they never really follow through. This was a class action lawsuit, meaning that the couple that accused Arbonne were representing all Arbonne consultants who had paid fees to Arbonne and purchased products within the applicable statutory limitations period, and who ended up losing money because of their participation in the alleged Arbonne scheme. So the plaintiffs did end up asking the court for avoidance of all contractual obligations related to the Arbonne pyramid scheme, and it was never really ruled whether it is or it isn't, because they just agreed on a $30,000 settlement. So that's a big yikes. If the discrimination one wasn't already kind of bad enough, I think it's kind of messed up. But they're all about, you know, helping others and encouraging others and whatnot, but didn't even hire someone with a hearing disability, which doesn't matter because they message people anyways. So not to mention, they also advertise that anyone can do this business. Like, this could be you, but someone with a hearing disability comes in and wants to join, and they're like, no. Like, do you really want like that? Like, I'm telling you, like, these people want a very specific like face. They want a very specific like who represents their company. So it's not really anyone can do it, because these people are like to discriminate, I guess. But that was 2007, so like the past is the past, right? I don't know how that would play into causing an issue for that person being a seller, but whatever. And the fact that they kind of swept under the rug that someone accused them, ex-consultants of Arbonne accused them of being a pyramid scheme, was kind of like swept under the rug. That's also kind of a big red flag in my book. So why do these lawsuits even matter? You know, those were those people's opinions, you know. Well, for one, the hearing disability one, that one was just straight up illegal. You cannot discriminate anyone based on any disability, ethnicity, religion, genders, like anything. That is just straight up illegal. So that's just, and it's also very sad and very unethical in my book. I do not want to support a company that won't even hire someone for a hearing disability. Like, what does it matter? Like, that person can still work, whatever. That's just my own opinion though. But what does it matter for the couple who sued, who were ex-consultants? That's just their opinion. But like I mentioned, if you click on the link, and again, I'll have it in the description, but if you click on the link, they talk about everything that I have talked about in my videos, how there's additional fees for, you know, like, well, most of the times you have to, like, the starter packs are pretty expensive for any MLMs. So they talk about their starter pack for like Arbonne and how expensive it was, and how they spent all this money putting into Arbonne because they wanted to succeed. And people in Arbonne kept saying that you can succeed and that you will be able to make it to the top and you will be an entrepreneur and like blah 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 and your own business owner, and none of that followed through and none of that happened. And again, I don't know how long these people worked for Arbonne. I try to find it, but like I couldn't find it anywhere. But it's just like all these false promises and everything that they've ever said, and things that I mentioned in my video about why I don't support MLMs, is because they put this false hope on people and make claims as such, and they aren't true. They just aren't true, and I just don't think that's right. And I want to inform people about that, and these people actually did something about it. I wish it kind of like followed through though. So I looked up for Monat, however you pronounce it, don't care. Actually, they have 6 lawsuits against them about hair loss and scalp damage, and they're all pretty recent too. They're all within like 2018. I'm not going to read all of them, so I'm going to be reading 2 specific ones because they kind of give you an idea on how the company is as a whole. In February 2018, Trisha Whitemeyer and Emily Yanes de Flores, I want to say is how you pronounce it, filed a $5 million class action lawsuit against Monat, claiming that while Monat's website claims substantial health benefits like hair growth and hair loss like regrowth, Many customers have experienced significant hair loss and or scalp irritation, and despite claiming that their products are all natural and sulfate free, they do contain sulfate like sodium C14, sodium C16, olefin sulfonate, and other petrochemicals. And that the Monat leadership have actively engaged in intimidation and deception by launching lawsuits against former distributors and blocked or erased comments that were critical to their products. Now, I don't know if this is still going on or not, because I tried to look at the link that they put where all that information was from, and I am not a lawyer, so it was very confusing to read, but from what I saw, I couldn't find whether, you know, it came to a conclusion or not, so that's still kind of up in the air. But I'm going to be talking about something that they mentioned right here is about Monat leadership actively engaging in intimidation and deception against former distributors and blocking them on social media. There's a lawsuit actually about that. So in February 2018, Monat filed a lawsuit against Kayla Baker, a past distributor who made social media posts about how the products were affecting her scalp. She focuses on an ingredient known as red clover, which can cause serious bleeding. And I actually looked up the side effects of red clover and like the information about it, and it said it is advised not to use because it is deemed likely safe to eat, which is already scary because Arbonne uses red clover in their products. It's right on their ingredient page. And possibly safe when applied to the skin, as it can cause rash-like reactions, muscle ache, headaches, nausea, and vaginal bleeding/spotting in some women. And this was all provided by WebMD. You can look it up. I have the link, like I said, in the description. So there are many MLM companies that have either lawsuits against them or ex-consultants themselves telling the truth about the business, but it's kind of weird that a big company like Monat was so worked up about someone who used to work for them or used to work for them, you know, who doesn't anymore, make a post explaining their experience and they sued them for that. Doesn't make sense. It's free speech. They can say whatever they want, so that doesn't really make any sense at all. But again, all it really takes is to just look up the MLM company and look up either like scam or lawsuit or whatever. Even if I just looked up the company name, lawsuit was already one of the suggestions, so that's already a big yikes. And again, this is important because the stuff like this proves, like the lawsuits against these two very big companies, and that's why I emphasize on this, because these companies are very big in the MLM, you know, community. But I don't think that these distributors or consultants would have signed up for the business or started working for them if they knew this information. And that's kind of the point I'm trying to get across. And, you know, if I found out that like my work has like gone a bad, like health, has had like terrible health code violations, I would not work for them, let alone even eat them or use anything from that store or whatever. So again, this just kind of proves that the facts of the company itself are just out there and public to the internet for anyone's discretion. And it just proves that the people that start working for this company haven't taken the time to actually research or know what they're talking about and know who they are selling for. So these are the type of people that you are buying from. The company like themselves. This is the kind of behavior that they stand for, I guess, is what you would say. So now I'm going to be talking about the people who represent the company, aka the workers, the consultants, distributors, whatever you want to call them. And I want to emphasize specifically on their own knowledge, the people selling the actual product, their knowledge. Because a lot of people who are in MLMs do not know how kind of corrupt and unethical it is. And that is, again, not their fault. They make the company look very attractive on the outside, very appealing, and very approachable, I guess. Like, anyone can do it. So again, it is not like these people's fault if they do not know like what they've kind of like gotten themselves into and what the company is. But yeah. And I want to compare it to those who do have the knowledge in the field or the practice that they are exploiting or promoting. So upon my own personal experience, I have seen consultants, distributors, whatever you want to call them, not know the answer to general questions about their products or their company. I'm sure I didn't even really know that some of these companies had lawsuits against them, like Arbonne, but like, again, it doesn't take that, it's not that very hard to look it up. It was all on the sweet, sweet internet. So I'm gonna read some quotes that I've heard personally from people that are in MLMs and basically what they say. And yeah. A common one that I often hear is, I didn't know anything about marketing or direct sales before I started this business. The biggest gain I saw in this was making an extra source of income. It had nothing to do with wanting better hair. I hadn't even tried the stuff. I just wanted to make money. So those are just a couple examples of stuff that I hear. I hear these all the time, that people never had any experience or never even really tried the products before they started selling them, which is very scary to me. So this is a video that I found about DoTerra, which is another MLM company, and they sell essential oils. But as I was scrolling through YouTube and stuff, I found this video, and this girl was, she used to sell DoTerra. She worked for the company for about 5 years, and I say worked for the company very loosely, but she worked for the company for 5 years, and in the next clip, I was waiting for her permission for me to use this clip, and now we can show it to you guys. But basically, yeah, she goes kind of in depth as to what people in her team have kind of told her.
So I do want to read off some things. I've kept a list of them for a while on things that I was actually told in this regard. Tell people to charge their credit. It's their health and they won't regret it. That rhymed. You can pretty much say whatever you want as long as it's behind closed doors. If you don't place a maximum qualifying monthly order, you won't be in the support group. Share the products every day with everyone in your life. Make a list of everyone you've ever met. If you care about people, you'll want the best for them. And the last one really strikes me because I heard this a lot, and I think it's kind of that cult mentality that's very scary to people. If you lose friends and family over this, then they were probably not a good friend to begin with. Let that sink in.
So in no way am I trying to say that MLMs are a cult or a pyramid scheme or whatever. Like, again, I'm not trying to claim anything. Don't sue me. I am not trying to say that they're a cult or anything like that. This is just this girl's example. This is this girl's opinions, and I am not trying to promote that this is a cult or whatnot. There are some aspects of a cult that MLMs kind of show or reflect, but that's a whole nother video, and if you guys want me to make a video on that, I will, but don't come for me. And also, I want to say thank you to her for letting me use this clip. Go watch that video. I'll link it in the description. It is a very good video and very informative, and kind of gives you an inside look on what it's like to be a part of these MLM companies. So I want to put this in like a real world sort of context. But imagine you went to the doctor, right? And they're recommending, a medication or an antibiotic for you. And you see behind them that there's no certificate or no diploma for them finishing medical school or whatnot. And so you go, how are you able to recommend this stuff if you haven't even finished medical school? They're like, well, I mean, I'm able to make a living off of it, so it's provided a job for me and I'm able to provide for my family. And then you go, but how? You don't even have any certification saying that you are an expert in your field. And they go, oh, well, you know, I'm able to make money because there's people under me. And you go, huh? And they're like, actually, if you sign up with me, I'll be able to make more money. And it's like, oh, so, and you go, why can't you just make money just by being a doctor or a whatnot? So why do you have to recruit me? So that's questionable. MLMs are only ever about making money. Because this business model only works if there are people losing money. Okay? If the people that are below at the very bottom rank are losing money, that is the only way that this business can work. And I always like to emphasize this, but the people working for MLMs are the customers, okay? Because they are the ones that spend the most money on the products, you know, buying every product that they can so they can, you know, promote it and show it off and tell people how good it is and whatnot. Okay, they're buying all the products, all right? It's not, you don't see like normal people who just like the products buying like a shit ton of them. It is only ever the people working for MLMs. And that is why the business works. And that is why the people at the very top are able to make money as long as the people at the bottom are spending all of their money buying the products. Make it make sense. If it was a legit business model, then people wouldn't have to recruit other people and make them pay money to join. I didn't have to pay any money when I joined the job that I have. It didn't cost anything because it's a legitimate business model. Oftentimes there are quotas or goals that they have to hit each month in order for them to even keep their rank title, in order to keep the rank that they're at, to stay where they're at. But if they want to move up or increase, it's going to cost more money and take more time. Something that I found very interesting was that was brought up to me is that these people don't have a business license. They like to advertise that they are a business owner, a small business owner, which is not true. That is not factual at all. And if they were their own business, which I might make a whole video just about this because it's very baffling to me, but if they were their own business, then they would need viable credentials to sell said product, which they do not, which is why it is scary to buy from them, because these people don't even have the credentials to know what to say, like, hey, I know what I'm selling, I know what this is, I'm an expert in this field, whatever. Honestly, sometimes I think that these people that are in MLMs think that that is the only like job where you can sell something that you like that exists, which is not true. And I kind of talk about this in the next part of the video right here, but I didn't really give a good preference to it. So yeah, I just want to emphasize that these people, I feel like sometimes they just think that this is the only job that they can have that, you know, that you can have the ability to work anywhere and do whatever you want, create your own hours or whatnot, which is not true, especially if you want to promote a product and stuff. There are a lot of jobs like that. So if you are interested in making money off of that, there's such a thing called a brand ambassador, and you don't have to make that the center of your life. The company will send you money to promote their brand because of your following or whatever, okay? That is what a brand ambassador does. The company will send you money for promoting their product. So, for example, if you're a YouTuber and a brand wants to work with you, you don't have to pay anything to advertise for them. You really don't. If you want to try out their products or whatever, if it's an actual like product, like say Tarte, like a makeup brand, right? Say Tarte wants to send you, wants you to promote like their new eyeshadow palette. They'll usually send it to you so that you can review it and then promote it. That's for free. You don't have to pay to promote their product, you know what I'm saying? And that is called a sponsorship. So I have had someone tell me how personally frustrating it is that for them who have a license, a certification, securing that that person is an expert or knowledgeable in their field or their line of work, to have MLMers, people that are in MLMs, promote products that they don't even know the ingredients of or that they haven't tried themselves. Most of the times these people will try them themselves, but again, that doesn't mean that they're an expert in the knowledge and that they shouldn't be recommending to people. These people do not really know what they're getting themselves into, and most of the times they will admit that they don't really know what's in the products, but they will recommend it to you. Now, I personally cannot blame them for joining this because they make their MLMs make their company look so attractive by saying like, we're vegan, we're cruelty free, all natural. But again, it just takes a little bit of digging to look in to the brand that you're buying from and see that they have lawsuits against them about being a pyramid scheme or for people losing their hair and having scalp damage because they use their products. That is very scary. What exactly are you buying? Now, as mentioned before with the lawsuits against Monat, you can kind of get an understanding of the type of business and products that these people sell. They obviously, like if it was safe to use on everyone's hair, it would have been proven that, but and again, everyone is different, you know, everyone has different conditions and like allergic reactions and stuff. But it is said in the article too, which I will have linked below. I read this article that it is the stuff in the products themselves that are known to cause very specific reactions, like scalp damage and hair loss and stuff. So it's not exactly, you know, here nor there, but that's just my opinion. It's kind of scary that a company can have a product that can do something like that. And if it was all natural, you know, sulfate free, even though it does contain sulfates like we just saw, even if it was all natural, I feel like it shouldn't do that kind of damage to someone's hair. I wanted to go further into detail about the products themselves. I feel like I always talk about Arbonne, but I just want to emphasize that this stuff is not revolutionary. And I thought it was really interesting that Tanner brought this up, that their products are never ever revolutionary, changing the game, you know, like the best thing in the entire world. Like they're never, they're not, they're really not, they're just overpriced. So I'll give you an example of this. Arbonne actually put out a new pea protein, thank the Lord, strawberry flavored one. So I looked it up. The serving size is 2 scoops and has 20 grams of protein, and for a total of $77. It has about 30 servings per container. Now, I'm going to compare it to the protein that I use because it is also cruelty-free and vegan, which is what Arbonne says that their products are. Yeah, so the protein I use is called Sun Warrior. It has a serving size of 1 scoop, which is 18 grams of protein, or 1.5 scoops, which is 27 grams of protein. So it's about 20 to 30 servings depending on how many scoops that you use. But this is only $23.99. And so yeah, they're relatively the same serving size, and if not, even if you use, yeah, you can use less of the protein, of the Sun Warrior protein, and get more grams of protein. So that's kind of weird. For doTerra, which is an essential oils MLM, they have a roll-on rose essential oils that is $93. And keep in mind, these are all just the retail price for that I'm reading off. If you are a preferred customer, which also costs money, you'd get it for like $10, $15 less, which is still not that much because you can still get something for cheaper, even if there is about $15 off or whatever. Yeah, so their essential oil is $93. For rose, it's a roll-on. It's about 10 milliliters, very expensive. But I found one for $19 by a brand called Eden's Garden, and it's the same exact size, same roll-on, 10 milliliters, you know, nice little essential oils thing. So yeah. Just because the price is heightened, it does not mean that the product is better. Why exactly are these products so expensive then? Everything is overpriced to make up for the compensations that they have to pay out for people's uplines. Okay? Because again, the more you go up in ranks, the more money you're gonna make. So when you buy, so they have to heighten up the price so much so that they have money to give out to people. You know what I'm saying? This is all just proof that these MLMs do not care about their products, because if they cared, they would really make the product like so freaking good and amazing, and like, you know, Jesus himself blessed it with his own blood, sweat, and tears. But that's not the case, because these people make the products so expensive because they can. So I don't want to support something like that. I'd rather buy something cheaper, and there are so many cheaper options. Okay, that's all fine and dandy. Who do I buy from then? A lot of these times these businesses will try to like reel you in by saying that their products are vegan and cruelty free, but just a little announcement, these brands are not the only brands that are vegan and cruelty free. There's a lot, and I will have a link in the description. Again, I did my research, I really did, and I went in to try to find like the best brands for you guys, or the best compiled lists that contain vegan and cruelty-free brands that are MLMs that you can support. So they range from everything from hair products to beauty products to essential oils to food, just everything. So that is all going to be in the description. So what gives? Who cares? I like the products and I think that they work for me. And I see myself getting the best results. It is just all going uphill for me. Okay, that's great. That's fantastic. If anything I've said in this video has agreed with you or resonated with you though, then I don't understand what ethical sense it makes to support the company. So when you buy products, even if it's not through a distributor, you know, it's just the retail price on their website, that money will only prove to the head of the companies, the people that are at the top, it will only prove to them that their business structure works, and that it doesn't matter that they have the business structure that they have, because people will still support them. The products are irrelevant. The products are not what we care about or what we're against in these MLMs. I just like to show that the products are not very extravagant, but to kind of give you a little insight on MLMs. But the thing that we're against MLMs is the business structure. So when you support an MLM, you're supporting the business structure. If you are someone who buys from a friend that is an MLM and you feel bad and you really only do it to support them and you want to support your friend, you don't have to buy your friend's MLM products in order to support them, because again, that money is going straight up the pyramid. Straight up the business structure. If you really want to help your friend out, there is an Instagram page that I found that also gives out information like this, like how to decline an MLM's offer or an MLM recruiter's offer, and how to talk to your friend that is an MLM, how to get out of one, how to know if you're in one, how to spot one, what companies are MLMs or not. It's very informative, and I will have their Instagram handle in the description as well. But I just really want to emphasize that the ends do not justify the means. If you think that these products are the best thing in the entire world because they work for you, does that justify the means? The stuff that it took for them to get to the point that they're at, the people that they had to scam out of their money for, the people who are at the very bottom, who aren't making any money and trying their best to sell, but they just can't, and they just end up losing money. 99% of people will lose money. Does that justify the product that you just bought and supported? That is all I have to say about that. Thank you guys for watching. Please follow me on Instagram if you are interested in my personal life, or more anti-MLM content. I have been pretty active on Instagram. I try my best to, and I just want to emphasize that I really love talking with you guys and just, you know, discussing this at all. I really love receiving messages or even comments below, so make sure to message me or interact with me on there. I post a lot on my story, and make sure to leave a comment below because I love talking to you guys and I love reading the comments. I plan on making my next video about kind of the impression that people have gotten from MLMs and the experience of people who were in MLMs, and also how to leave and other jobs that you can do besides that. So stay tuned for that and all that jazz. And goodbye from Editing Cam. Again, I really love making these videos, and I know it's kind of like random that I just started making these videos, but I know the vibe was like really weird, and honestly, Editing Cam just had to say bye because it was honestly like 2 different people in this video, but literally it was just me and I'm just being weird. So yeah, I just want to thank everyone who watches and supports the channel. You know, you guys are freaking the best. I really hope, and again, my intention is always to just spread the message. I don't want to defame anyone. I just want to create content for you guys, you know, anti-MLM or not. I love making those personal videos for you guys too. So if you have any suggestions for either category or just anything in general, just let me know. And as always, thanks for watching.